everybody. I'm Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and everybody's got a price for lazy booking. Hey, this is your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, and you're listening to Lazy Booking. No, it's true. It's damn true. Ho! Hey, folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and if you want to know what's going on in wrestling, check out Lazy Bookings. Ho!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of Lazy Booking right here on A2DRadio.com. Brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accountants located at 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. You can give them a call at 215-369-3300. Tax season will be back before you know it, so be ready, be prepared, and call Gibson Mayer.
What up, fam? Our topic of conversation also brought to you by our doc and make him yours, Paul Vidal of Specialized Physical Therapy. Find him in Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton, New Jersey, or you can find him on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. No appointment needed. So check him out, guys. Our topic of conversation is The Fiend will show up at WWE Clash of Champions. Agree, disagree. Chrome and Maddie, Mr. Ryan Brodo on the ones and twos, hanging out with the Ginger Gang here. We're ready to talk some WWE, some wrestling, or sports entertainment, or whatever we want to call it.
Boy, if this was a WCW show back in the day, we have to say wrestling instead.
Wrestling. But we're coming at you on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, Facebook, and, of course, the YouTube. Looking forward to talking to you, fam. We're going to talk about Raw and SmackDown, WWE making its televised return to Madison Square Garden. It's first time in a long time. A couple faces. One's been almost 20 years since he's been in Madison Square Garden. We'll talk about his appearance, as well as preview WWE Clash of Champions coming at you this Sunday on the WWE Network. I almost said live on pay-per-view. We're really tickling those WCW things back in the day. I'm well behind on my times right now. And we're gonna talk about WWE on Fox. We're getting closer. A lot of rumors are happening. Some things might be happening with a shift or a shuffle on the commentary teams, as well as there's been rumors of is there going to be a quote unquote WWE draft. We'll talk about if that's going to happen, maybe what that could look like or should look like, and, of course, hot tag. Maddie, how's your week going, pal?
Oh, it's fine, man. I mean, had a cool weekend, and, now I'm just going through the week. Now I get to talk about wrestling.
Well, bro, I'm loving the shirt. I'm liking the merch. I'm liking the hat sitting on the table. If you guys are looking for some A2D merch, get with the program. Hit up Mr. Thomas, Kennedy McMahon are known. And he can give you all the details on how you can get your A2D merch. I'm telling you, man, it's some of the most comfortable stuff.
Let me tell you this, too. Also, got some good deals going on as well.
Yeah, man, he's always hooking it up. Man. He's trying to hook up the fam and spread the love. And we want to be a part of that. We want to spread that love as well. The love that you guys glow on us every week when you join us in our conversations, and we appreciate it. And to extend that love, I want to remind our fam here that also on Thursday night, yes, there is WWE Clash of Champions, but let me tell you where I really want you to be that night, because you can go back on the WWE Network and you can check out Clash of Champions. But what you can't go back on the network and do, or any network anywhere, is hanging out with all your favorite or least favorite A2D personalities in one spot. That's right. This Sunday night, for the Eagles and Atlanta Falcons game, we are hosting an A2D watch party. It's $20, get you in the door to the special area that we're going to have, get you some food specials. Boozer on you guys. We ain't taking responsibility for that. Take responsibility for yourselves on that, at least this time around. But listen, we're going to fill your bellies. We're going to give you good conversation. For all you guys who are out there who want to actually get in the same room and interact with a lot of us. Hell, half the time a lot of us don't get a chance to get into the same room and get together.
No, not really.
Yeah, so it's going to be a good time. I don't think Maddie's unfortunately going to be able to make it.
Unfortunately not. It was a day where I already had something planned, so it's like
It's okay. It's
it's
okay.
just bad timing.
Well, listen, you're not our football guy, Maddie. and
That
that's
is
okay.
true. Yeah, I would probably be as useful as boobs on a bull and during that game. Let me tell you.
Did not see that comparison coming, by the
I've
way.
never even
and
heard that before.
I truly appreciated that, Maddie. But again, guys, listen, it's going to be a fun time. It's in Merchantville. Pin setters, come and join us. Your Big Daddy Tom's going to be there. This guy's going to be there. Mr. Ryan Brodo will be there. Chuck's, that loud mouth, will be there.
Oh, boy.
And I can say that because he's my guy. I'm telling you, all the A2D personalities you love and you love to hate, we're all going to be there and ready to talk some football and whatever else you guys want to talk about. You want to come and talk wrestling with me? Hell, I'll pull up my phone and we can dual watch together a little bit of Clash of Champions. Whatever you guys want. But we just want you to be there with us on Sunday night. This Sunday, we have it, 7 to 11 is our special.
Correct.
Game starts at 8:20, I believe.
Ish. Yeah.
Ish.
Ish.
But we'll be there. Like I said, we'll see you then.
And if any of you want to call me out for not being there, I don't care. Feel free to. I'll accept it gladly from you guys.
Not only will he accept it, but he will accept you. He will expect you to accept that he doesn't give a shit that you don't care that you'll be mad that he's there. I can't even talk today, guys. I'm sorry.
Something like that. Something in there formed the correct
Take a couple
complete
words
sentence.
out. We're good.
Change a few letters around.
Nah, it's going to be a fun night with the fam. Looking forward to it. All right, Maddie, let's get into it.
All
we got
right.
WWE Raw and SmackDown emanating from Madison Square Garden this week. Show kicks off with Stone Cold Steve Austin, basically overseeing and facilitating the contract signing that we did not get the week before. And obviously, the contracts finally get signed. And who comes out, of course? The OC. I hate that name, by the way.
I don't even call them the OC.
It's weird.
I just call them the Bullet Club because
It's
that's what they
weird.
are. So
The OC comes out. AJ and Austin getting a little back and forth. Push come to shove. Physical altercation. And we get the Stone Cold Stunner to AJ Styles.
wait, you mean tell me Austin was on a program and he stunned somebody?
He stunned somebody.
I'm shocked.
And hey, spoiler alert, not the last time we would see Stone Cold Steve Austin on this program. But what did you think of the opening program?
I mean, I thought it's always fun when you get to see Austin every once in a while, you know. It's like, it's cool. You get to feel that nostalgia, which WWE can do whenever it feels like it and feels like, ooh, we got a big show coming up. Probably want to bust out Stone Cold or somebody here. Hey, is Rock available? No? All right, Austin, come on, let's go. The other half of WrestleMania X7. Anyway, I would say, it was fine for what it was. I mean, the old contract signing stuff where, someone comes out, interrupts it, blah, 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 someone gets stunned. You knew it was coming. But, even as formulaic as it is, it's funny. It's just a moment.
Well, it's Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Always exciting to see Steve, but much the same of what we usually get.
Yeah.
We did get the nostalgic stroll down memory lane, talking about the Highway to Hell with The Undertaker, amongst other things that, and obviously Bret Hitman Hart at Survivor Series with him, which was, for all intents and purposes, it wasn't his marquee match against Bret, but it was his breakout match as a singles star in WWE as Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Steve Austin. What's up, Big Daddy?
I mean,
Just a reminder, Thomas Kennedy McMahon Arnone will be there at 8:30. Well, at 7 on Sunday night for the 8:20 game. Whatever time. Big Daddy rolls it. 7:10. 7:10. I love it.
But I mean, when you think about it, though, that whole matchup at Survivor Series when Austin faced off with Bret Hart, it's like that was kind of the moment you realized, like, okay, he got the King of the Ring earlier in the year, and you thought, like, okay, maybe they'll do something with him. By the time he faces off with Bret, he
It's torture. Stop the show. That's stop the feed. Mr. Softy's here. Guys, we'll be back. Some things are bigger than us. No, we're kidding. Sad part is I'm only half kidding. There is a part of me that wants to run out and grab something. But I digress.
But
You said I digress, so I got it out of there.
You're like,
I mean, I could have filibustered and just grabbed me, just grab me some vanilla.
Maddie, this is where we take shifts. I go to Mr. Softy while you entertain the fam, and then I come back and vice versa.
we literally do the
We do the
tag,
tag
and then,
team.
I go, yeah.
I come in for the hot tag.
Yep.
Or I give you the hot tag. Maddie goes out and takes it to Suplex City with Mr. Softy.
Oh, I'll get you the rainbow sprinkles just so that you could be different.
Yay!
But no, I mean, listen, you're right. I mean, it was a nice stroll down memory lane, and everything kind of fit. It was the typical what you get from Steve Austin. What did I say?
It's just Ralph.
Pinsetters Bar and Bowl this Sunday, 7-Eleven. Me, Ryan, maybe Noah, and Frank will be there. Remember, 7-Eleven, Pinsetters this Sunday. Eagles, Falcons.
So the reason why I'm laughing at that, Ralph said that in a loop last night on the show probably 10 times in a row, and he kept cutting us all off. He kept saying the same thing. Pinsetters Bar and Bowl this Sunday, 7-Eleven. Me, Ryan, maybe Noah.
Ralph's just excited for the food.
Either
Well,
that, or maybe we found Ralphie's true calling in life. Not being a co-host on The Fix, maybe doing like monster truck rally announcements in a constant loop. Sunday.
His voice isn't deep enough. Though.
That's a good point.
Frank
You're
said
right.
the
Sunday.
OC wasn't that a show on Fox in the mid-2000s? Is this foreshadowing? And he says, giving each other hot tags, isn't this a segment on the show? Is this foreshadowing? Could be.
Could be. Heavy dose of foreshadowing.
Tucci, don't make me block you tonight. You behave yourself in there.
Doesn't he usually start with like a comment like that, and then he gets into the actual conversation?
No,
now?
it just stays. No, it just stays like that. That's what I'm saying. Tucci, you stay calm.
One of
in
my
there.
shows, he started with a comment like that. I don't remember if it was this one or Birds of a Feather. And then he started just joining in the regular conversation. I was like, oh, okay. Ellen Pompey, what are you talking about tonight, football or baseball? Neither. This is wrestling. It's niche night.
If you have any
Ellen,
comments about the football game, I'll talk with you in the chat.
Eileen, anytime you're on. Yeah, I mean, Ryan, I can't get anybody's name right tonight. I'm running on E.
Matt
tonight.
Ryan over there.
Eileen, anything you want to talk about? Mr. Ryan Brodo will talk with you guys.
See, Tucci understands.
I love you, too. It's all good.
He's like, okay, all right. Oh, boy.
But all you got to remember, Thursday night on A2D is niche night.
That it is.
Niche night.
And
Maybe when there's an Eagles Thursday night game, there might be a little switcheroo. We'll see.
maybe a little
Maybe
trailer
a little bit.
for
We
things to
haven't
come.
talked.
Yeah.
We might have to work something out. We'll see.
That may be also a little slice of foreshadowing. Maybe it wasn't.
Maybe it
You
wasn't.
don't know. We don't break the fourth wall completely here.
No, not here. We still rep kayfabe.
Yes,
That
we do.
thing must be sitting right outside because it's not moving. The sound is staying the same.
It's like, what happened to my kids that were out here the other day?
Guys,
What happened to my
I'm
38-year-old kids that were out here the other day?
I heard you had a reservation.
He's probably listening to A2D like, oh, they wanted it. They wanted it. I'm stopping by. Ellen says she misses 80s wrestling. It was the best era for me. I mean, 90s was great too, but if you lived in the 80s, I went back and watched the HBO documentary, the Andre documentary the other day.
Oh, great documentary.
Man, I could watch that over and over and over again. It's so good. And then the best part is, right, so my parents were over. My dad's like, I never saw the whole documentary. Can you put it on? That's why I did. Yeah. So my parents were over, and my sister was working and comes in, and my mom's like bundling on a couch. Now, you would never think you'd see this when I was a kid. My sister's like, Mom, are you watching Hogan and Andre with Michael? And she's like, yeah. Like rewatching the whole WrestleMania 3 match. It was just really funny when she walked in.
Well, I mean, think of it this way too. What was great about that time period is that no one had ever seen wrestling like that on as big of a scale as they saw it. I mean, it was first time on a national platform, and it was so over the top, and it was just so different. And it was like, it was superheroes.
Yeah.
It was legitimate superheroes in real life. Hulk Hogan was Superman. Savage was Batman, and the whole thing was Andre would have been basically, you can throw a dart and see where it lands in terms of Superman villain, big, giant, strong, and could beat him up.
Eileen liked George the Animal Steel.
George the Animal
was
Steel.
awesome.
Great character.
What was the movie he was in?
I forgot. Oh, he was in a movie.
It's like a cult following movie too.
It is too. It's
and it's
one of those
on the tip
80s
of my. No, it was in the 90s.
Oh, it was in the 90s. You're right. Oh my god.
And it was on. It was like a black and white, like modern movie, and it was like a cult following.
Movie.
I'm trying to remember.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Was
I can
it-
see it.
Was it Pleasantville?
No,
No. Damn.
you have it, Ryan, right?
Because I was thinking black. and
No,
white.
I don't think I do actually.
All right, I'll find it. Go ahead.
Ed Wood.
Ed Wood.
Ed. Oh, yeah, that's
Ed
right.
Wood.
It was about.
It's like
Ed
one of those
Wood,
weird
yeah.
cult following movies that
That was
people love.
with Johnny Depp. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
It was a Johnny Depp movie. It was almost like It was in the day where you had like the Edward Scissorhand type of movies coming out. A lot of the Tim Burton movies were like really popular. It might be a Tim Burton movie.
It could be.
The poster certainly looks like a Tim Burton movie. That's for sure.
Because I know that it was supposed to be about Ed Wood, who used to do all those really bad,
Yeah.
B movies back in the day, way back in the day.
And Eileen did say Ed Wood.
Yep. So to show you how back in the day Ed Wood was, he had Bela Lugosi in his films, and that was well after he did Dracula. But anyway,
Let's reel it back in. All right,
Yeah,
so
we got
Steve
off
Austin,
track.
he stuns AJ's, whatever. They have a match. Let's just review the high points of Raw at this point.
Or can I review a low
Or
point?
you can, whatever you want. You're boss today.
The inevitable occurred. What we predicted, feared.
Baron Corbin winning.
Yeah.
in the
That-
first ever triple threat match in the King
She
of the
did
Ring
say it was a
tournament.
Tim Burton movie, though. Thank
There
you.
you go,
Hey,
Eileen.
awesome.
There you go.
There's two guys who, when you see their movies, hey, it's niche night. Why not talk movies, right?
A little bit, yeah.
There's
Why not? Yeah.
two guys that when you see their movies, there's no question who is responsible.
Tim Burton falls into that
It's
category.
Tim Burton
Yep.
and Quentin Tarantino.
Yes.
You can
Yeah.
never mistake whoever is the director of those movies. You know
Yeah.
exactly who directs and or produces those movies. Other guys, you have the Spielbergs and Cameron,
I'll add
James
a third.
Cameron's.
I'll add a third.
Okay.
And this is for the wrong reason. Michael Bay, because there's
Michael
1,000 explosions.
Oh
That's-
yeah,
That's true.
that's true.
In a very
Or-
different way, you're kind of right. Yeah.
Or George Lucas for the 1,000 lens flares.
True.
That and talking about sand. But anyway,
I like this show tonight. I like this.
We got a criteria, but we're just gonna roll it whatever
we're
we roll
chilling,
it.
man.
oh come
we're
on,
chilling.
you guys are doing what Hockey Happy Hour does. Criterias. What the hell are those?
That's actually
anyway,
really good. That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
He says Martin Landau played Bela Lugosi.
yeah, he did. And that was actually
That was John C. Danzo. I didn't even say his name. John, I'm a mess today, so
But,
Hi, John. I
yeah.
think Sarah
John.
Jessica Parker was in that movie, wasn't she?
I don't remember.
She may have been.
I haven't seen Ed Wood probably since it came out.
I will check.
She may have been. I mean, I think that was during the time period where she was doing movies. So
Ed Wood
She
cast.
still kinda
Google.
does them.
Let's
not as much though. Not nearly as much as she used to. Ever since
Aha! Yes. She was there.
She was.
she was in that movie. Okay.
Bill Murray as well.
Eileen says, "Am I the only chick that likes wrestling?" No, occasionally we get some that'll pop in and out.
That's no. There are those who love wrestling. Unfortunately, I don't think they're as vocal as the
is true.
gentlemen are.
This is true. And I mean, you're freaking handsome with that hair. I don't know why they're not flocking to the show right now. I'm serious. I love that beautiful ginger
Well,
hair.
see, here's the thing. There's a dynamic that you have that the Hockey Happy Hour has. You have to have Mikey here.
Fuck him. You got this, Mikey. You don't need to. He's a Crumb Penguins fan.
I
That's
knew
the
it. I had to
difference.
fish you off on that one. It was too easy. Anyway.
Franks.
Frank says Sarah Jessica Parker was in it. She played a horse.
She played a horse.
Rosca
I
asks,
think
did I
he's
ever
making
see?
fun of her. I think he's making fun of
Rosca
her.
says, do you?
That's why I think he's.
No, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't think she
Rosca
actually
sa-
played a
Rosca says,
That
do
jo-
you,
it takes a minute for that joke
Yeah.
to kick in.
do you ever see? Did you ever see Inglorious Bastards?
Yes, I
No.
did.
No, I've never seen.
So I'm hit and miss on Tarantino movies.
So am I.
Super hit and miss on Tarantino movies. But two that shockingly I love are Inglorious Bastards and From Dusk Till Dawn.
That's a fun one. I like that one because that one's so much fun to watch, especially when you get to Cheech Marin and he's talking all about the different kinds of pussy in the front of the club. I'm like, yeah, that part's freaking hilarious. I'm crying laughing at that part.
Yeah.
Poor Sarah.
Poor Sarah. Who'd have thought when this show started
she
that
was the
Sarah
target.
Jessica Parker would be our roast tonight?
Sorry, Sarah.
Last week we have Bailey. This week it's Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, I wish we could connect the two, but there's no way to do this,
But
actually.
we love women. I swear to God. I swear to God. It looks really bad right now.
There's no subliminal
is Frank.
messages here. Just
This
letting
is
you
Frank
guys
who's
know.
doing this right now.
There was nothing but there's no subliminal messages here being sent out.
She said Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was freaking awesome. I saw it 3 times. So I haven't seen it. Now, I believe it's kind of loosely, or maybe it is based off of what a Tarantino twist. The Charlie Manson murders, right?
Something like
seen
that,
it.
from what I've heard.
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
I haven't either.
I'm hit and miss on his. Like, I'm not as crazy about Pulp Fiction as a lot of people are.
I mean,
I'm
the
not saying
same. I'm the same.
not saying it's not good.
It's good.
Reservoir Dogs, another one I'm not crazy about.
It's
not.
It's good.
Yeah, it's not
not-
that.
yeah.
And agreed. It's not that I'm saying they're bad movies, but like I like. Excuse me, I like the other ones better. Kill Bill, I'm into the Kill Bill movies.
That's actually my favorite out of all of them. The reason why is because it's such a kick-ass film. You know, it's just like it's one of the. To me, it's one of the coolest films ever made because I'm a mark for anything that has samurai swords in it and with a bunch of violence. I'm like, all right, perfect movie for me.
John says Martin Landau did a wrestling movie too, Ready to Rumble.
Oh
It's a
God.
classic.
Oh, not that movie. That just brings back freaking David Arquette PTSD.
You know what though? In hindsight, right? I almost feel like it's another cult thing, right? In the wrestling community.
Yeah.
To where Ready to Rumble, it was terrible when it came out.
it
And
was
it-
a bomb.
Does not stand the test of time. But if you're a wrestling fan and a longtime wrestling fan, it's almost like watching it now, as bad as it was, is enjoyable in a weird way.
Well, here's the thing. I remember one day I came home from school and Ready to Rumble was on because they used to have those channels on Stars on the premium cable.
Yeah.
So it was on. And I was just like, you know what? This had all the WCW wrestlers in it. I'm going to watch it because I had never watched it when it first came out. So sat down and watched it. I'm like, wow, I can see why this movie bombed. But it was cool to see DDP, Sting, and all the other ones in an actual movie because you didn't get to see that from the WCW guys. You only ever saw it from like Hogan and some other WWF talent.
I mean,
You
Savage
never
did
saw
a
it.
couple. He did that, right? Savage.
Yeah, Savage.
Savage
yeah.
then also went on to do Spider-Man.
He did do that, but that was after WCW had closed down, obviously.
Guys, let's not forget too that Great Khali was a movie star as well.
Oh, that's right. He was in The Longest,
The Longest
Yard.
Yard.
Yeah, with Adam Sandler. And then, actually, there was a lot of wrestlers in that.
And
Austin was in that.
Obviously, Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash, the great.
Goldberg.
Kevin Nash did that. He was Super Shredder at one point.
He was.
He
yeah.
was in Magic Mike and Magic Mike 2.
Maybe the real Dwayne The Rock Johnson of the wrestling world is actually big, sexy Kevin Nash.
He's
this
just
whole
under.
time.
He's just
Who
ahead
knew?
of. He was
Who
just.
knew?
He's just ahead of his time and underappreciated.
Wait, he was in Magic Mike?
Apparently.
Yeah.
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 I don't know.
I didn't view that film.
I heard that he was in it.
I didn't
so
see it either, but everybody knows that he was in it. It's weird. He's like the older guy.
Apparently, it's like I guess maybe Nash just felt like, oh, what the hell not? It's a paycheck, which is usually how he is, and now I'm pretty sure people probably rip him about it to this day.
Well, honestly, in fairness to him too, it's an opportunity. Like, just calling a spade a spade. Dude's in phenomenal shape
He
for
is,
his age.
For his age, yeah.
True.
I would fit him in like Billy Gunn and as two guys who, at their age, still are built as good or better than guys who are almost half their age. And it's an opportunity for him to be an old guy and be like, yo, I could put these kids to shame.
To add on top of that, one time Billy Gunn was getting on the plane to go to a show back in the time where he was tagging with Road Dogg. They said, hey, where's Brian? He's like, well, you see, I'm in this business to look good. Brian's in this business to feel good because he was out all night drinking and doing drugs and stuff like that.
Tom chimes in, my son, hashtag my sons. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on?
John C. Danzo says Bonesaw is ready.
Bonesaw.
Frank Vespi says Triple H was in Blade Trinity. I didn't see it, but
Yes,
I did know
he
that.
was, and I did see that movie with Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, listen. I mean, who can beat Suburban Commando? The Undertaker.
and he had a child's voice in that movie.
See,
too.
you're gonna laugh at me too.
Tell me you've never seen Suburban Commando.
Oh no, I haven't seen that movie.
What? Christopher Lloyd, Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker?
No, I haven't seen.
Actually, funny
I
enough,
forget the chick's
that's
name.
how
But
Hogan.
she played Olive Oil in the old Popeye movie with Robin Williams. I don't remember her name.
Funny enough, that's how Hogan scouted Mark Calloway.
Sarah Jessica
He was
Parker?
on that movie. Because at the time, Undertaker was not in WWE yet. He was actually still originally in WCW. Hogan scouted him that night.
See? 6 Degrees. What ties Kevin Nash and Boban together? Both did John Wick movies.
There you
Boban
go.
was legit in that movie.
I haven't
he
seen
was
it, but I've heard.
legit.
I heard he was pretty great.
Yes.
And Nash was in The Punisher.
Yeah. That dude's done a lot of
Yeah.
acting jobs when you really think about it.
I forgot all about it because I remember I was watching it, and all of a sudden Kevin Nash is like beating up on the guy who played The Punisher. I'm like, holy shit, it's Kevin Nash. What
Shelley
the hell?
Duvall. Shelley Duvall.
That's who it is. Shelley Duvall. Correct.
Thank you, John and Eileen.
They knew who I was talking about, though.
Yeah. You're gonna laugh at me. The movie that came out at the time, I thought it was like the greatest movie ever, and every time I've watched it since, I'm like, wow, this movie sucked. The original Marine with John Cena. The first time I saw it, I'm like, this is cinema. Like I loved it. I loved it. But listen, we understand.
Right there.
No, it sucks. Now it's
I'm not going to go there. Not going to say it sucks.
the part where he's the security guard is freaking awesome. Then it goes
Listen.
downhill.
Here's the thing.
Did you go in jorts and?
I have never seen.
No, Maddie, I did not. Okay, I forgot them at home.
Listen, I have not seen any of the other Marine movies other than the first one.
Same.
But in fairness,
Allegiance to John.
when
you
you
know what I mean?
particularly go back to that era of WWE films, I actually thought it was a pretty decent movie. This is back in the time though where they were like basically recreating and ripping off other movies. Like
Pretty much.
I like the original 12 Rounds, but the original 12 Rounds
Oh my God.
is Die Hard with a Vengeance with John Cena.
That's why I like that
But
movie.
it's
I will-
literally the exact same movie.
That one is actually my favorite one out of all the John Cena movies. Is 12 Rounds.
Is it?
To me, I think that was the fun.
See, mine's Blocker.
See,
Blockers.
I had more fun with that one during the time period when Cena was wrestling and he would leave and do the films.
Like the early movies?
Yeah, I thought that was his best out of that catalog. Now he's kind of more into the acting than the wrestling nowadays. But as for The Rock, when he was doing the wrestling and part-time doing the movies, my favorite out of all of them was probably The Rundown because I used to watch that and just laugh my ass off the entire time.
So your favorite John Cena movie is not Ferdinand?
He's in Ferdinand? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, he does. It's an animated movie.
Oh, well, that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, it's not Moana like Dwayne, but it works.
but
They all have to have the animated movie under their belts to make it legit.
I mean, it's paint by numbers acting.
I mean, Hogan Hogan got to bypass the movie because he had the All Stars cartoon already made with him in it.
with Wendy Richter.
With Wendy Richter.
I gotta say, man, John's gotta. There's some bad movies on this
Of
list,
course
John.
there's. Have
I mean,
you-
come on, John.
Listen, and I'm not even talking about Tooth Fairy. There are movies that are recent. Look at Dwayne's list.
Dwayne's list, okay.
Dwayne-
I like this is a good topic, by the way.
This is a great topic.
Wrestlers in movies.
See, guys, this is how we appeal to the masses. We could talk it. We could tie it into wrestling, especially when, let's be real, we'll mention a few more things from Raw and SmackDown. I thought this might be a short show, guys, but this really may not be.
See? And you were afraid we wouldn't find something to talk about.
But we'll mention a few things. But I would rather have this conversation, to be
Yes.
honest with you right now.
I am
Such a
very
better-
excited.
Like,
right now.
let's take a walk down memory lane.
'Cause it's a
of,
good
like,
topic.
These movies and stuff that half the people didn't even realize certain people were in.
That's true.
Gridiron Gang's got to be up there. I mean,
mean,
that's one of my favorite
that's
rock
great.
movies
That's
of all
great.
time.
That was
Dwayne
a good
movie.
rock movie.
Great Dwayne movie.
That's a good rock movie.
The Other Guys, fantastic.
Okay.
The Other Guys, which
Doesn't have a lot of replayability. The first time it's really good.
I just loved it because Mark Wahlberg was just absolutely hilarious in that film. At least to me, I thought he was freaking hilarious.
I mean, if you go back, I see Frank's on here talking about Santa movies and stuff. Goldberg was in Santa and Fran Drescher. Something with Fran Drescher.
Santa.
He was in. He says it's the greatest, worst Christmas movie of all time. Santa's Sleigh. It starred Bill Goldberg as Santa and Fran Drescher.
and then there's also, of course, Santa with Muscles with Hulk Hogan.
I mean, go back to Jingle All the Way, a legit Christmas movie, and you have Paul White, Big
Yeah.
Show.
That's right. He played the big Santa Claus that Arnold fought.
See,
Now,
John's.
Eileen says Cena's in a new comedy movie, so his movies are a lot better now.
Yes, they're going
Like
somewhere.
they're actual featured movies.
Because he went to Hollywood, actually.
And like John says, the game plan. I liked the game plan.
I don't really remember it. I saw it once.
He's the football player, and then he's got the daughter.
Why are we?
Oh,
I mean,
yes, that was that movie.
I don't
with The
really
Rock.
remember it that well.
Oh, it's a
Are we
soccer.
sleeping on Knucklehead right now?
What with
What?
with Big Show?
I've never seen.
I
it.
almost said Hogan.
Well, here. I'll go, so I
it's
have the list.
terrible.
People at home, and then obviously in here.
Never. I actually never watched that film, so I don't know.
I'm gonna go right down the
You
list.
should go and watch it.
People at home and in here, just tell me if
I've
you
never
like
seen,
the film or
I've
not.
never seen The Chaperone.
Never saw
No,
that one
neither
either.
have I. Neither have
I feel like all the best parts are in the preview, and the preview's terrible. So the movies probably can't. I mean, it has to be one of those things where I will never get that time back in my life.
So obviously he's in the. I haven't seen the new Hobbs and Shaw.
All right, so fam,
yeah.
you join us on this. On ones you like and ones we don't like. Are we
Yes.
doing? Who are we doing? Dwayne?
So we're starting with Dwayne.
Let's go through Dwayne's movie library here.
So
Go to the beginning.
okay,
Okay, this is gonna
so
take a
let's go
minute.
Way
All right.
back. So the first one.
There's going to
we
be
will
some I
go
haven't
with,
seen, but
Probably.
he actually had a pretty good start because I mean, the Scorpion King and the Mummy are the first two movies.
Basically,
he's-
Yeah.
did the same thing. He plays the same character.
I don't remember Scorpion King a ton,
Neither do
I
I.
remember.
and I saw it in the theater.
See, I remember it enough only because it came out when I was young enough to not care if what a good movie was and what a bad movie was. So I watched it a lot. So I do remember that one a lot.
He was in GI Joe Retaliation. That sucked. That
Did
movie
not
sucked.
watch that
Didn't
one.
say it.
Race to Witch Mountain. Never saw. You know that's early because he has like the Rock 2005
That was-
beard and everything.
That was
see
a
that.
Disney period. Yeah, I actually saw maybe like 5 minutes of that.
I loved this movie when I was younger, but Doom.
Doom. Oh God. See, that movie I
Came out in
liked the first time.
2005.
I never watched Doom either.
I liked it when I was a kid, but then having played the actual game Doom, I'm like, ooh, this is a bad movie. This is a really bad
See,
movie.
so I never saw that Doom,
Hmm.
but I'm surprised they never saw it because I loved the PC game in the 90s.
Oh, Doom
Yeah.
is awesome, man. It's kick ass.
yeah.
The Tooth Fairy.
Inside Out with Triple H. John, is that the Disney movie?
I think
It
Inside
has
Out
to-
is, yeah.
Unless
I
they
didn't even know
completely
it
took the
was in
name
it.
of it.
It's the only movie that I know of named Inside Out. So
Yeah, I don't know any
he
other
says Bending the
ones.
Rules with Edge. I never saw that either.
I did see that.
I'm going to tell you right now, there is a lot of WWE films that I did not.
There's a
even
lot of WWE
recognize
films I didn't
watch.
even know existed.
I did see Bending the Rules with Edge. It was an
Eileen says, "Can I ask how old you guys? Is that? That's not appropriate. Can I? If I asked you how old you are,
Stop it.
Eileen,
Stop
would
it,
that
Crow.
be appropriate?
Stop that.
No, I'm kidding. I'm 34. Matt, listen. Let me say how old I am, and then you can hear how old these guys are. And this is why there's a lot of stuff that I remember that they
Yes.
don't.
And then
Or-
there's a lot of times where
or-
Chrome says something and there'll just be silence. 'Cause Maddie and I are like, wait, what?
Or what's great, and especially when we have Mataraki, I'm not going to say his age, but he's a little bit older than I am. And then there's such a span of generations, which is
Yeah.
why this show is great.
Yeah.
Whether we stay on a wrestling tangent topic or we talk about the 80s or 70s, like when we say like, hey, do you remember this moment? And like me and Mike talk about like this, like we were like in 7th grade and this and that. And well, Mikey was older than me then. But and then you guys are like, yeah, man, I totally remember being the first guy in my kindergarten class, and we're like, what? But go ahead, if you guys want to share how
Yeah,
old you are.
I'm 23.
I'm 26.
I'm 11 years older than Ryan. When's your birthday?
June 14th.
Yeah, well, technically, numerically, I'll be 12 years older than you,
Oh my, 26.
and you're 26, so you're 8 years younger than me. Yeah, so there's a big range and quite the difference when it comes to like how do we remember certain things, and we get into that at points, which is what's fun. That's why, like I said, like Suburban Commando. Ryan's like, oh, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
I mean, here's the thing, though. I've actually taken the time to watch Suburban Commando because I just had to see the myth of the Hulk Hogan movie.
Ryan's
I
going to
just
try to
had
find it.
I mean,
if there's any Hogan movie before like your time to go back and watch, it's not the Nanny or Mr. Nanny, whatever the hell.
I saw that one. That one was good.
oh, that one.
I did see that when I was like 6.
It's
so maybe it was cute.
Suburban Commando is the one to see.
Okay.
I
Tooth
remember
Fairy?
that film, too.
Tooth Fairy?
I saw it once.
I never saw it.
I don't remember it.
Saw the Tooth Fairy. Didn't really care for it.
Didn't remember it.
Have you guys seen the Journey to the Center of the Earth?
I have not, but I've heard it's good.
Yeah, they're good.
No, have not seen it.
I haven't seen Faster. I've never seen that.
Is that supposed to be part of the Fast and Furious
No,
series?
I don't believe so.
Eileen, you didn't really have to put your age in there. I was just kidding.
Oh,
with you.
Mataraki's here.
Is he? Ouch! Just ouch. He's laughing though. He gets it.
Pain and Gain. I've never seen it.
I've seen that. Rock plays an idiot in that movie.
Oh no, Eileen, that's for me because I was talking about every time I said something. Mike's even older than me. He's talking to me for taking what I didn't consider shots, but I'll take a shot at the old man. Old great beard. He ain't here. I love you, buddy.
Moana.
Oh, great movie.
I actually watched that on the cruise last year.
It's such a great
There's
movie.
no TV, so I'm like, ow.
Listen,
we'll
like,
watch Moana.
I'm a Disney fan, and I have no problem admitting it. I'm a Disney snob.
So it's got to be perfect.
And I think it's actually one of the better, like, digitally animated films that they've done.
The Fast and the Furious films, obviously, he's good in
Did you
those.
mention The Rundown?
Yes.
I must have missed that.
I mentioned. Wait a minute.
I don't think
You did mention the rundown?
You
I
think he's-
saw it. I
I
thought
did.
it.
I
Okay,
remember. I
The
did.
Rundown.
I mean,
Actually, I thought that was a really good movie.
I've never seen
I
it.
loved that movie. Actually, that movie was fun.
What was his name? Sean William Scott or whatever the hell his name was?
Yeah, he was co-starring with, but really, let's be honest.
And
The
you
Rock
should
made
be,
that
Eileen.
film.
You're young.
Hercules.
Frank
Oh,
turned. Frank was Frank's birthday yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, Frank, sorry. Happy birthday,
Oh, happy
pal.
birthday, Frank.
Hey yo, happy birthday.
Chico.
No, fuck him. Who cares? I'm taking my happy birthday back.
Wait. What the hell did he just say?
I don't know why. I'm just taking it back.
Oh, okay.
I thought he said something in the chat.
No. I'm heel chrome. That's what I should do. Why am I giving this guy a happy birthday?
Oh. Well, you heel turn and you babyface turn more than Big Show anymore.
Absolutely,
these days.
Eileen. Agree with you. What's up, Pete? Pete's in the chat.
What's up, Pete? Has anyone seen the Hercules film?
I did not.
No.
It's a shame because the trailers look so good. And then I watched, I think he was on Conan.
That's the one that he was getting ready to film when he got hurt when he tore his abdomen
Oh,
at
yes.
WrestleMania 29.
Yes. And I my first inkling of, or, memory of the film is not even the film. It's the interview he did with Conan O'Brien. And he's talking about how there's one scene where he's
said
like
that-
chained up.
Pete said
and
the
he,
Thursday Night Thunder right here. We sure as hell are. You got it, brother.
and he,
But we're better than what the actual Thunder program was.
True. And he
That
would
would be in this very ring.
and he goes to scream, and he kept fainting during the filming of the Hercules film
Yeah.
as Hercules. But no, I've not seen that film at all. Central Intelligence with Kevin Hart. I haven't seen it.
Oh no, I haven't.
Very
seen that
funny.
I've heard it's funny.
It is very good.
San Andreas. I really liked it.
I enjoyed it a lot as well.
Only ever seen the opening scene, and the only thing I can assume is that God was punishing that girl for listening to Taylor Swift. That's the only way. That's why that earthquake happened.
I'm also a big fan of hers as well.
Love her.
I
Love her.
yeah, she might be like a 5 lister
Mhm.
for me.
Anyway, Skyscraper.
Nope.
One of the worst films. This is according to The Rock. He even says that movie was a disaster. Skyscraper.
I didn't watch it because I figured it's like I've already seen this movie. It's called Die Hard.
I knew it was gonna suck.
Is that what it
because
was,
it's
like Die
literally-
Hard?
No, I don't even know what it was. It seemed like to me the plot was he goes up in a skyscraper. It starts on it bursts into flames, and then he has to like cross or something. He's like stuck on the top of a burning skyscraper. That's it. End. Scene.
That's the whole movie?
I think so. It sucked, so I really don't care.
I know he has a prosthetic leg from the trailers, but that's pretty much all I know.
Rampage. Now this is controversial. I thought that
Oh.
movie sucked.
Another video game movie. I didn't watch it. so I have
People
no
love
clue.
that movie.
See-
I thought it sucked.
See, because
what I'm realizing, there's a lot of Dwayne movies I have not seen.
Yes.
And part of the problem, and I don't mean this bad because I
There's
love
so
Dwayne.
many of them.
He's like a fly on shit. He's in everything over the last 6 or 7 years. Like, I just don't have the time to watch it.
It's the
all.
same thing with Samuel. It's the same thing. Like, they're in everything. They're in everything. It's like, for example, like Denzel. If Denzel's in a movie, I'm like, okay, I got to go see it because it's Denzel. You know, because he's in like one movie every 3 years, it seems like.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
Like Dwayne, he's in every friggin' movie. I'm like, we'll catch that on DVR in 10 years, Dwayne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll add it to the list.
Did he do a movie called Empire State or something like that? We'll
I
get to it. I'm
don't
sure that might be on the list eventually.
Jumanji.
Loved it.
That was fun.
Loved Jumanji.
Baywatch. Again, I like
I didn't
she.
watch
I
it.
like
So-
that she's in that movie too.
Here's
Dario.
here's what's really unusual about
So I should like
Baywatch.
that film, but I thought it sucked.
Here's what is you didn't like Baywatch?
No, it sucked.
I thought it was hilarious. If you don't take it too seriously,
Trust me, I wasn't taking that seriously.
I thought
shouldn't
I
be taking it seriously.
I found Dwayne to be really funny in that
Oh,
movie.
he's funny, but it was like I expected more.
I will say this,
That's the thing.
I expected more
It's-
funny.
It's a 2017 or whatever it is version of Baywatch with Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron.
Yes, I
How
expect-
serious can you take that?
I wasn't expecting serious. I was
And if
expecting
you-
more funny.
And if you were going to go in with high
More
expectations,
funny?
but
Yes.
here's the thing.
Stop it.
Here's the thing.
I will
you
not
should-
stop.
You should
Jesus, with your childish, unsatisfied millennial humor.
not, Brodo. You shouldn't go in with high expectations.
Thanks for joining,
on a-
Eileen.
Bye,
Bye,
Eileen.
Eileen. But you shouldn't go into a movie that with high expectations based off of a series that was all about just seeing Pamela Anderson's tits. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the entire reason Baywatch even existed in the first place.
The music was phenomenal, by the way.
Yasmin Bleeth was I mean, there's a lot of really good-looking women from that show back in the day. Kelly Packard was in that.
I know,
You know who
but-
Kelly Packard is? California
Yes.
Dreams.
Yes, I know.
I know, but the one that everybody
Your
immediately
dreams.
goes to is, you know.
Gonna stay here in the sun till my dream is done.
Oh, I almost spat out my water there.
California Dreams was
There's
was
Empire.
the issue.
Empire State. There it
Yes,
is.
he says. Frank did confirm too. The Empire State. Is
He was in
one of those ones.
Shazam?
Yes. Actually, no. He's supposed to be in the series because he's going to play Black
So like
Adam.
Shazam.
Oh.
Every time I hear Shazam,
Yeah.
and I've done this, like even now, my instantaneous reaction. I haven't seen it. Is I think of Shaq in Kazam.
Yes, thank you.
I have never once had somebody bring that movie up, and the first thing I think of is why are they talking about Kazam until I realize it's Shazam.
Every time I see that, I just can't help but want to call him Captain Marvel because that's what he was called back in the day.
Yeah.
So I just immediately say it.
So, with that being said, what would we say is your favorite Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie?
I mean, Gridiron Gang in terms of a series. Walking Tall was really good too.
Walking Tall was a good movie.
Yeah.
That was one that was a more serious action film.
I might have to go with Gridiron Gang.
Nice, John. Gridiron Gang might be the number one.
How about that?
I'm also a big fan of Central Intelligence.
I got to see that
But
movie.
wait a minute.
I
You
mean,
guys.
it's an animated movie, so I kind of put it in a different scale. Moana's very good,
Chrome.
Yeah.
and his role in it was he was a major role in
Yeah.
that movie, and he was very good.
You don't have love for Be Cool?
I forgot he was in Be Cool.
Where he played the
See,
gay,
I do. I like those
where
movies,
he
like Get
played the
Shorty and
gay
Be Cool.
bodyguard.
So Gridiron Gang came out. Try and guess what year do you think Gridiron Gang came out?
2000 and
I was surprised.
I would say 2000 and
I'm gonna throw out 2010.
no, it's earlier than that. I
See,
think.
that's what I originally thought, Maddie.
I'm just trying to think how much earlier. I'm trying to think. Was I in high school or maybe I'm gonna say 2006.
That's correct.
All right.
Oh,
That's
Thought it was a
correct.
little bit after I got out of high school. So
that really is a lot earlier than.
because like I
thought
was
it
thinking,
was.
I'm like did I go? Did my parents drop me
was-
off to see that?
I
And
was-
I'm like, no, I feel like I'm older than that.
I was 10 when that movie came out. That came out 13 years ago.
yeah.
So if you
Jesus.
so I was 13.
Wow. Any other wrestler we want to go to their category? We went to John. We went to Dwayne.
We went to the big one, so we got
Did
that
we-
out of the
I don't
way.
think we went through all of Cena's movies.
We can go through all of them.
Oh,
Yeah, we didn't go through all of them. I just made the conclusion that a lot of them sucked. So Fast and he's apparently in Fast and
He's
Furious
going to be in the
9.
new Fast and the Furious.
John
The
Cena?
Marine, as we talked about.
I liked it.
I
I actually think for the original, before WWE films started actually pairing with real like
right.
backings of producers,
it was a
and
good
stuff,
start. Yes.
I thought it was a good start. I thought, especially when you see how downhill that shit went after,
It
that was
actually
pretty good.
It gets a lot of airtime on on the movie channel, like on TNT and TV.
Yeah.
Like it's on TV
I
a
mean-
lot.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it was fine. It was an okay movie for its time. I don't think it was a big issue.
Yeah.
You know, like, I
Blockers.
think it was a good
What is it?
action movie.
Blockers. I haven't seen it.
loved it.
Oh,
Not only did I see
was
it,
that one.
You know the story. of
Oh,
this.
that's
I
you
saw
should
this
love that movie.
in New Orleans with John Cena when he did a viewing party and took a picture with him in the theater. He sat a row in front of us in the section over.
You got a picture with him too.
I took a picture with him.
Maddie, that's going to be a tough one for him to. to top. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think he's going
But
to top
even
that
taking
one,
that
yeah.
away,
It was a good
you
movie?
go back and watch it. He is very funny in that movie.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
And like not like cheesy funny, like his acting is really good in a comedic role in that movie.
Well, Cena's always had a funny, like, comedic timing. Like, even when he was wrestling, he always had a good comedic timing.
Right,
to him.
but there's times where it's like boom, like that was witty, or there's times where super cheesy and forced.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good point.
None of
Yeah.
that felt like that in this.
Good. Trainwreck. I actually thought
Which one was Trainwreck?
with
with
Schumer
Amy Schumer. Yeah.
and LeBron was in
Oh
it.
my God, he was so funny in that too.
Cena and LeBron, they were both hilarious.
Yeah, he was that. Yes, that's a good movie.
That's a
yeah.
really good movie. He doesn't have a major part in it.
But he has one of the most memorable. He's
yeah.
not even that. There's like 2 or 3 scenes with him where, of all that happens in that, he's one of the most memorable characters from that movie in the small dose he's in it.
And if it's like it's almost like a running joke because if you know like what John Cena is, at least as a wrestler, and then the character he plays as in that movie, what do you got?
Rosca says Vin Diesel hates The Rock. I never heard that before.
I actually have.
I've heard that
I
they've
have.
had a
Thanks,
bit of a
Kyle. Kyle
rivalry.
said he disagrees with the poll. Why, you ask? He doesn't really have an idea, but have a great show. Appreciate you, brother.
I actually have heard that, Chrome.
I've heard that too, actually, that they kind of have like this sort of rival. Not like where they're about to beat each other up, but more like a rivalry of, I'm better than you.
I have never heard that. Now, I know that Dwayne has or at least had a beef with Tyrese.
Tyrese, yes.
I never heard
Well,
the Vin Diesel one.
See, I've heard that because Tyrese and Vin Diesel
Oh, who cares?
are close.
Right.
There's a lot of, and again, this is just rumors, that when they used to film those Fast and Furious things, they wouldn't be on set together unless they had to be. Like the way they scheduled those things. You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't it because like The Rock used to act like he was like the big guy in the?
Oh, it's the testosterone. It's Vin Diesel and it's The Rock, and then when you have those two,
And I think
no, it's The Rock
and everybody
and Vin
else.
Diesel, because Vin Diesel in actuality
Actually-
is about this tall next to
True.
Dwayne.
Actually,
hey,
that
listen, he
and
plays
Might
a
even
tree.
knock it down
He
a little.
plays a tree. That bumps it up a little bit.
Also, we're talking about actual those levels. We're talking about actual popularity because let's be honest, how many people would give a crap about Vin Diesel if those Fast and Furious movies weren't still coming out?
I mean, for all intents and purposes, the movies are essentially built around Vin Diesel's character.
Pretty much.
Yep.
But Dwayne and Paul Walker are more of the stars of the series than he is.
And they did a spinoff.
They've
Hobbs
done
and Shaw.
multiple spin-offs.
R.I.P. Paul.
Yes. Playing with Fire. I don't even know that film.
I have no idea.
12 rounds.
Decent.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's
A little bit lower than The Marine.
it's Die Hard with a Vengeance light, but it's good.
I haven't seen Bumblebee. I think he plays a bad guy. or something.
So he doesn't. I just saw Bumblebee this past weekend.
Okay.
He's good in it.
Is it better than the
I
Michael
actually
Bay films?
really enjoyed Bumblebee a lot. I'm not a big I love Transformers as a kid. I feel like the movies, once you've seen one, you've seen them all. But this was different because this was more of an origins of Bumblebee type of a movie.
Yes.
It was very good. And it's not that John Cena plays a bad guy. If you see the movie,
Oh,
and
his
you find out quick. So it's not like I'm spoiling anything.
So his motives are.
He's deceived into helping the Decepticons. All the humans are.
I like that.
So it's not a spoiler, but these Decepticons come to Earth and essentially are like, hey, we're trying to get this robot who's been sent here to take your planet out.
Gotcha.
And we want to work with you to get rid of him. So it saves our planet too. So they end up like sharing things with them and working with them. That's how it appears. Does it change throughout the movie? You'll have to purchase it or check it out and stream it to find out.
The Daddy's Home films. I have not seen either one of them.
I haven't
so
seen
He has a. I know he has a small part at the first one, and then the second one it's more prominent, I believe.
did not see the second one.
The first one he's in it for like a minute.
First one, his little cameo at the end of it
Yeah.
was funny.
Yes.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, I mean, this one's gonna win. Fred the movie. I mean,
What is Fred the movie?
See, that's
about that
see, Maddie, we're so
internet-
young. We
He's an internet star. I didn't even watch him. He
So,
was stupid.
this
Anyway.
guy named Fred. Okay, he was one of the first big YouTubers, like back like circa 2008.
Before you could put like an hour long.
Like these
something on
stupid
YouTube.
little friggin' videos that he used to do. And WWE, like, remember when they got into what was that thing where they like tout or whatever the hell?
Tout.
Like when WWE was in the phase
Ooh.
where they're gonna try and attach themselves to everything internet because the internet's cool now. Like right when they were starting to do that, so they attached themselves to this Fred dude who was like 13 at the time. Now he's probably 30. And they made all these films, and John Cena,
He aged really roughly over the last 10
Yes.
years. He went from 13 to 30.
the demonetization phase really affected him. And they attached themselves to him, and John Cena with the friggin' the Fruit Loop T-shirts. He was always in the what the hell is happening with this game, by the way?
I have rain. I don't know.
Might be a thunder delay.
Hey, I hope you guys are
Yeah, it
enjoying.
looks like a storm delay.
Oh,
They're kicking everybody out of the
Interesting.
stands.
well, I hope you
But
guys
basically,
are
it
enjoying
was a
Thursday Night
stupid
Football.
film. It should not be on this list.
Yeah.
I was literally joking when I threw that in.
Good question by Frank.
What did, oh.
I don't know how many you guys have seen. I've only seen one, but I actually want to see more. How do you guys feel about the Hanna-Barbera characters meet the WWE films?
Were we talking about the Scooby-Doo ones?
So there's the Scooby-Doo ones, the Flintstones, the Jetsons.
Those ones, I remember.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Nah.
I did not watch any of those.
I mean, that's like Camp WWE. Like,
It's definitely not.
well,
like
no,
Camp
but I'm saying it's
No,
WWE.
because
like
that's
for
an
me
actual-
as an
Not even
outsider,
close.
it's the same thing for me as an outsider.
So here's the thing. I grew up on like the Jetsons and the Flintstones and that stuff, where I think this might be that like generational divide because
Well, I mean,
I
like
grew up
my
on Power Rangers.
okay.
That was my
see
thing.
I did too.
To
I
be-
was there when they first started,
well,
but even before then, like when Cartoon Network first started,
yeah, they had
like,
Scooby-Doo.
that was the stuff that like that was more accessible than like I feel like you guys definitely had a lot more like hipper, cooler stuff. Like we were still watching what our parents watched as kids.
we
That's
had
not
Power
true. I mean,
Rangers Wild
we-
Force.
I mean, okay,
Oh, God, I don't know that one.
that's that actually, yeah, I actually know that. But anyway, I mean, I actually
you didn't look proud to know that either.
How about Time Force, Maddie?
That
Time Force.
That was a better season.
Yes.
Anyway, all right, so
I might go back and watch that.
what
right
I
now.
was gonna say was like actually, I do remember that because I remember the period of time on Cartoon Network they would have that period where they would show like at some point during the day the older cartoons where they would have Scooby Doo on. They did have the Looney Tunes on early in the day. If when I would get up for school, the Looney Tunes would be on. You know, Tom and Jerry, they would play them all the time.
But even if you think like when I was a kid, like Flintstones the movie with John Goodman came out,
Ah, okay.
and then even prior to that, like even though the Flintstones came out during my parents' generation, they continued to make it to where like when I was a kid, they had the Flintstones Christmas Carol, which they showed every year on TV. Or you had like Jetsons the movie came out like 91 or something when I was a kid, or 90. Like, and I love them movies. Like, so I have a love for those things. So I will always at least check out and appreciate, especially because they don't really, those Hanna-Barbera animated things, they just don't come out with that kind of stuff anymore. So as weird as it is, like I feel like the only recent thing they've come out with it has been when they've done the WWE films.
So,
Yeah.
which series? We have like a minute, so this is why I'm asking this question before we get a break. Which series did you grow up with of the Power Rangers?
The original.
Mighty Morphin.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Okay, Maddie, were you a Turbo guy?
No.
Because the
Hell
order's
no.
Power Mighty Morphin, then Zeo, then Turbo.
See, I was already out of it by the time whatever Zeo was.
See, my
Zeo was the next.
Like
That was the first time they
I
changed
lived.
it.
I was through the phase of like the whole Green Ranger thing, and then when he came back as the White Ranger, I went through all that phase, and then they had the next ones, a couple of them, like when Trini and them were gone.
well, then you went to Turbo, then they went to outer space.
Yeah, I was way out of
See,
that.
My cutoff is Time Force because
Yeah.
by then I stopped watching Power Rangers and then I started watching other stuff.
that I caught the very end of Time Force. That was an emotional final season, by the way. And then Wild Force was right in my prime. And then after that, I went back. Then I relived because they were all reruns. Because I wasn't doing the friggin' Ninja Storm, the Dino Thunder. I'm not doing all that.
That was when Nick got a hold of them.
I don't know what that means.
Nickelodeon.
I went
what
back
it
to the
means.
Mighty Morphin and the space, so I know exactly what you're talking about. That was my childhood, but the reruns. You know what I'm saying? Like you were watching it in real time.
Yeah, and it was. I will say this before we go to break. Being there when that show started and seeing the phenomenon that it came, it's crazy. It still runs, right?
It does. Hey, actually,
Unbelievable to me that it does.
Saban just sold it to Hasbro.
There you go. But it's so crazy. Like to have been there, enthralled into the original version of that and seeing what it's become. I mean, I think it's cheesy as hell now.
No, yes.
But
Whoa.
man, like it was one of those really kind of like crazy cult, huge things that blew up for what 20 some years
yeah.
now.
What really but the funny part is, what makes you love that series so much is when you go back, it's not necessarily what they did in between the action scenes. It was them morphing, the suits, the Megazord, and ultimately Zed and Rita. They always brought you back. They always
And the last
did.
thing I'll say before we take our break, the argument has still never been settled. Who was cooler, the Green Ranger or the White Ranger?
I don't know if you could
Still
ever
never
get
settled.
that. You can't get that answer because they're played by the same guy. Like that's the tough
So
part.
the answer is yes.
Instagram, Periscope, Twitter. We appreciate you guys. Clearly, we can go way off the rails on this show.
That was the true talk nerdy to me.
That
I mean,
was
that was
unbelievable. We've never had a show go that far off the rails and not care. We're just rolling with
that
it.
was fantastic.
So welcome to Niche Night, guys. Yes, it's lazy booking, and that was not lazy booking, by the way. Make sure you jump over to the Facebook and jump over to the YouTube.
All right then, guys. This first half of Lazy Bookin' brought to you by Gibson Mayor LLC, your certified public accountants located at 301 Oxford Valley Road in your APA. Give them a call, 215-369-3300. Tax season will be back before you know it. Be ready, be prepared, and call Gibson Mayor.
Don't forget, search A2D Radio and A2D Live on Facebook and YouTube. Don't forget 8:30 this Sunday night, A2D get together to watch Atlanta versus the Philadelphia Eagles at Pin Centers. 7 o'clock, we're going to be there. Let's talk nerdy then, guys. For all you guys, we'll talk to you in a couple minutes after the break. Stick with us.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Lazy Booking right here on A2DRadio.com. Brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accounts located at 301 Oxford Valley Road in New Orleans, PA. Give them a call, 215-369-3300. Tax season will be back before you know it, so be ready, be prepared, and call Gibson Mayer.
And guys, don't forget the topic of conversation tonight is brought to you by our doctor, make 'em yours, Dr. Paul Vidal. Over at Specialized Physical Therapy. You can find him in Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton, New Jersey. You can find him on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. No appointment needed. If you need him, go check out the doc. You're in great hands, we promise you.
Now, before we dive back into wrestling, we do have breaking news. And it's funny because it does actually concern Niche Night for once.
For once.
But here's the thing, though. It happens to be the wrong show. Ivan Provorov is officially tied in to the Philadelphia Flyers for another 6 years.
Yep. Big news for the Flyers fans. I think Ryan pulled up the logistics. You guys will go over the specifics.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Sounds like around an AAV of around $6 million a year. Good deal for them. Huge move. Lot to talk about on Hockey Happy Hour, so make sure you guys are sticking with us here on Niche Night, because at the top of the hour, I vacate my spot for some of the handsomest, even though some of are crumbs with what they wear. Their faces are pretty decent to look at, and they're smart as hell when it comes to hockey. The Hockey Happy Hour, the real Triple H. H will be in the building, bringing you more details on the Provorov extension, as well as everything else that's hockey. Season's around the corner, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Time to get excited. We were talking about it on the break, how, excited we kind of are for Flyer season.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be better than last year. I don't expect a ton from them, but I expect to see steps forward in progression.
I don't expect them to be dormant like they were for many parts of the last handful of seasons.
Correct.
Yes. I think it's going to be a dogfight. But I think the Flyers will hold their own this season.
I agree. So make sure you guys stick with Hockey Happy Hour. And also, don't forget, this Sunday night, 7 to 11 at Pin Setters, A2D, your favorite personalities, the ones you love, the ones you love to hate, getting together in one place over at Pin Setters in Merchantville. We're going to be watching your Philadelphia Eagles take on the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday Night Football. $20 gets you in the door, get you some food, fill your belly before you fill it up with some booze. Make sure you coat that belly with some good stuff. So we're looking forward to getting with you, fam. Do not miss out. This is going to be a fun opportunity to talk nerdy or talk about it, talk with the best in the business, and just have some friggin' fun. So,
all right, then.
All right. So our topic of conversation from Specialized Physical Therapy, which we're finally going to get to because we never really got around to it, was The Fiend will show up at WWE Clash of Champions. Agree, disagree. We're going to go through the card of Clash of Champions. We're going to preview, and we'll tie in a little bit of what we kind of bypassed. Was what I consider was an awesome conversation, by the way, in the first half. Again, that's why Niche Night is so much fun. You never know where the conversation's going to go. It could be totally planned out, and then we end up going totally off the rails and talking something wrestling this time, and then it'll be in movies.
And again, it wasn't completely off the rails because it still involved wrestling
well, until
stars.
we got to the Power Rangers, but
Well, that's not just fair.
Yeah, but that was
and
Power
Hanna
Rangers.
Barbera and all
Yeah,
that.
but that was at the end, so
Yeah.
that doesn't count.
It's fair game.
Yeah, it's like the last 5 minutes of the segment. Anything goes then.
Clinky did chime in. He said, yo, boys, I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
You guys got some stuff to talk about, Clinky.
Yes, we do.
Greg says, what's up, fellas? Sorry I'm late. Sorry I haven't seen either Raw or SmackDown this week, so I'm useless as usual. We know. Frank says, cue Ralph's spiel.
Talking about the
Oh,
pinsetters.
And John Danza says, I wish I could be there on Sunday to meet with you guys. We wish you could be too, buddy. But you're here with us every week, so it's like we know you. Oh, excuse me. That was that Burger King I ate before I got here. Little indigestion. Frank said MMPR also played the game on my friend's Sega Genesis back in '96. Was 3 or 4. I don't remember what he's talking about. Which game? So that's my bad.
I asked Greg the same question I asked Tom.
Um,
He said, who didn't? Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
See, Greg, I was more of a Time Force guy.
Boy, that's showing your age right there on that one.
Frank said the one I really wanted to see was Hanna-Barbera Hardcore Heaven. Imagine Yogi Berra getting a picnic basket of weapons. I'm
Only
in.
you, Frank.
Okay, if
Only
he's
you.
going to do that, he's wrestling Tommy Dreamer. He is totally facing Tommy Dreamer in the cartoon.
So Bill Middlebrook says, I understand safety, but what happened to the good old days when they'd play in everything?
Oh, he's talking about the football.
Oh, with the weather delay between the Bucks and the Panthers because they had lightning outside.
Yeah.
Listen, we can't fight lightning, though. I mean, you can try, but you're
Yeah.
probably going to get hit.
I mean, maybe you wish Cam Newton to get struck by lightning. I don't know.
Rosca says Scarlett Bordeaux is in WWE. There's no confirmed reports of that.
Oh,
There
don't tell
is-
Chrome that. Oh, God.
There is reports, which we mentioned previously a week or two ago, that she has come in for a tryout, which I hope that they sign her. Tom says, Tom Arnone says, as you know, I'm just here so I don't get fined. We want to know if he was a Power Rangers fan when he was younger.
He has declined to answer.
A2D Live, who didn't? Mighty Morphin.
You know, I actually
That's from Greg.
I might know the answer to that on Tom because one time I said about how much I love the Power Rangers, and he said, me, I was all about the Ninja Turtles. So he was a Ninja Turtle guy.
I mean, that's what I really grew up on, Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters.
I grew up on the
Transformers and G.I. Joe when they were like the cartoons and really into
the
their
original cartoon of Transformers.
Yeah, they were awesome. I mean, I haven't watched. So, all right, we're going to go off the rails again here.
Oh, really?
So my niece and nephew are young. They're 7 and 4, almost 5, my nephew. So they were here last weekend. So it's that whole, like, bring back old things. So I haven't seen any of, like, the modern Ninja Turtles. But, like, I can go back and say, like, I watched an episode of, or maybe 2 episodes of the new DuckTales.
Oh, my God, that's right.
Highly confused by what the new DuckTales is supposed to be.
I didn't even know that existed.
I don't know. I don't think you can top the original anyway.
Nothing like the original. Like, Scrooge McDuck is almost just a reoccurring character, but it's not focused around him like it was.
What?
Yeah, it's real weird. Like, he's not in every episode, apparently.
He's the main character.
That's
of the
what you would
show.
think, but it's not. I don't know.
Okay, that's kind of blasphemous, but all right. Anyway.
All right, I'm gonna reel myself back in. I gotta fish myself out of the water and reel me back in. All right, Clash of Champions. Let's run through the card. We'll drop in some of the things that happen on Raw and SmackDown as we go through it.
All right, so got no disqualification match to start it off with. Roman Reigns versus Rowan.
So are we a fan of the direction that Rowan's taken? I know you don't like Eric Rowan. No? I like it. I'm okay with it so far.
I mean, it's so early. It's hard to really tell because it's like, okay, he's broken away from Daniel Bryan and everything. Here's the thing, though. He's probably going to lose.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like, I feel like it's all for naught.
I don't know that I'm convinced that he's going to lose.
I hope he doesn't lose. I actually hope he wins.
But even if he doesn't win, they've made him look very strong against Roman in the program to build up. And if they put on a good match, and Eric Rowan is an athletic big man.
He is.
Who I think, and Roman, whether people have loved him or hated him over the years, almost every single time has a great pay-per-view match Take away what you see on television sometimes. He always has really good pay-per-view matches.
He does.
I could see this putting Rowan in a better place, even if he comes out a loser at the end of this.
Hey, Maddie.
Yes.
I'm going to pick Roman.
Okay.
I'm going to pick Roman as well.
So we all.
But I wouldn't
got across
shock
the
me if
board.
Rowan goes over, even if it's a schmaz.
I would
It would have to be a schmuck.
see. I would like
If
to
it's a
see,
dusty finish or something.
See, here's the thing. I would like to see Rowan win only because I think it would be cool to have him get a win on Roman. I think it would be great for him to kind of help elevate his character a little bit more and maybe give him an opportunity to actually run with a singles push for once, you know, see where this goes. Gets a win on Roman. If it continues to work, okay, you know.
So John dropped all of his predictions in.
Love it, John.
He has Clash of Champions. He has Rollins over Braun with the Fiend interfering. Kofi over Orton. Banks over Lynch. Wow. Bailey. Excuse me. Ooh. I'm growing up, guys. I regressed since we started talking about my childhood days, my puberty.
It's re-hit.
Bailey over Flair. Rowan over Reigns. Miz over Nakamura. Styles over Cedric Alexander. Ziggler and Rude over Strowman and Rollins. New Day over The Revival. Fire and Desire over Nikki and Bliss. Interesting.
Oh God, that's right. That's
Couple
that.
bold predictions there, Mr. Danzo.
I
That's that
like
really-
a lot of them, though. I like them.
That Fire and Desire. That's such a bad name. Anyway, sorry.
I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem. I like it.
It fits them.
I did not like that name. I just.
Really?
It's so cheesy sounding. You know, it's about as to me. It's right up there with the Boston Hug connection. That was bad. And then I feel like the same thing with the Viking Experience. I'm like,
See, I don't put them in anywhere in the same realm. Viking Experience was a terrible name.
That
We
was
can
a
all agree with
terrible
that.
What
nickname.
name would you prefer?
Honestly, I don't even really need a tag team name. I really don't. If you're a good enough tag team, you don't need a tag team
Here's
name.
why I'm going to disagree with you, though, and you can respond to me. And I feel like the tag team division in men's and now this establishment of a women's division, what has hurt the division is taking away tag team names and gimmicks in the tag team division to where it just felt like they were putting singles people together
Yeah.
to build to another program by giving them Boston Hug Connection is a terrible name too. It's a
Yes.
ripoff of the Rock and Sock Connection,
Yeah.
and they're
much.
complete farce compared to what the Rock and Sock Connection was. That's my problem. But like I look at names like the Iconics.
That was that was a name that I didn't mind. That's okay.
We know that Asuka and Kairi Sane, I almost said Io. Kairi Sane, we don't love the name, but I like that they at least put a gimmicky name on them so you know they're an established tag team now
The
for the time
Sky
being.
Pirates of
I know,
Tomorrow.
I know.
See,
you're
if they
stuck
had
on
gone
this.
that route, I would have been perfectly fine.
That's the trio name. If we want to just go Sky Pirates, that's fine.
They would all have
Or
to
the
turn
Pirates
heel.
of Tomorrow. See? Look at all the freaking alterations of it.
But like I don't mind Fire and Desire. Like I
It's
think
either
it
that-
fits them. It fits their individual characters.
Oh, it's either that or Sonya and Mandy. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
You just say Sonya normally, and then you just whisper Mandy.
I feel like if you take the name off of them, they're just two individuals who are best friends hanging out and being a tag team.
Yes.
I didn't mind when they were called Absolution back in the day. Unfortunately, it's all tied to Paige, so they'll never be able to get out of that. But it's like, man, if only they had just been able to keep that name, it would have been fine with me. Because that's a tag team that actually you would think, because think about it, you would immediately go to like Absolution. Okay, so this is probably just two guys in a tag team. Like, oh, okay, it was actually a female tag team. I think that would actually intrigue people more than Fire and Desire. Be like, that's such an 80s sounding tag team name. That would work in the 80s. But to me, that's what I feel like.
I
It's like,
hear you.
It sounds
I
like
hear
an
you.
80s tag
And
team
listen,
name.
I'm not shooting you down. We're having our agree to disagree.
Yeah,
on
I
this.
got you. Yeah.
I look at a tag team name, and if I hear a name and I can instantaneously know who they are, to me that's a success. I hear Fire and Desire, and I know exactly who that is. Everybody knows it's Mandy. She is the desirable one. Everybody knows Sonya Deville is the legitimate backgrounded fighter, the fiery one of the group. To me, it fits exactly who they are. So maybe there could be a better name at some point, but I don't think it's bad. If I can distinguish this is exactly who they are, I'm in. I get it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
At least there's a brand that can be put behind it.
I mean, if it winds up selling them T-shirts and moves some merch, at the end of the day, it's like, all right, I guess it worked. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much how it is. Like,
I feel like a lot of people shit on the bar when it first started.
see, I didn't mind it because I got the idea of what they were going for. I didn't mind that nearly as much as,
What
you
was
know,
their catchphrase?
'cause
we don't just
set the bar.
We are the bar.
We are the bar.
See, I didn't mind that so much. I'm like, okay, that's actually a creative way. It's something they haven't always. That's a name you haven't heard before. Or it's not a name that's like, oh, it's like one of those weird, silly sayings. No, it's actually a way of saying we're the measuring stick, you know. And it's like, all right, I actually like that play off of it. That's a cool play, you know. But anyway, look
at the Revival. Like, everybody knows what they are. They're reviving old school wrestling. The Revival is a perfect name for those guys.
That's a great name for a tag team. But also because tag team wrestling dies in WWE and then gets resurrected so many times, it's not funny. But anyway, let me see here. All right, so Fire and Desire, ironically enough, is the next match here. So we got the women's tag team titles. Fire and Desire, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville versus the tag champs, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. The not the best friends above WWE, I guess you would call them. Quote unquote.
I think it's Fire and Desire. I think the whole story of Alexa and Nikki Cross being best friends, I think that's going to be over now. I think that she'll probably cross.
It is interesting, though, that they've positioned Alexa much more as a almost face character.
Well, that's exactly my point. I don't think Alexa's going to turn on Nikki Cross.
You think it's Nikki who's going to turn on her?
Yep.
Interesting. She is unstable.
I am actually going to say.
I'm trying to think of. I'm talking out loud to myself.
I'm going to say Bliss and Cross because I think what they might do is they might wait until they can get the SmackDown or the Raw title free from whatever program it's in, and then have that be the catalyst to where they pull apart because Bliss just wants that belt. She doesn't want to be a tag team champion. So I have a feeling, you know how WWE is, they go to their safety blanket or their crutches, and one of the crutches is Bliss being a heel because she's so good at it, you know. So I could see that totally happening.
I'm going to go Fire and Desire on this one.
This is my vision for the whole Bliss thing. I think that we've seen all we can with Alexa Bliss as a heel at the moment. I think they've done as much as they can without being redundant, to be honest. What I think they should do, again, they probably won't do this because it makes sense. I think with Sasha turning heel, with Bayley turning heel, there's a lot of heels now. Okay, the main baby faces are obviously Becky, and I guess Charlotte. Even though the crowd, they don't love her, they really don't, because they're the whole she's Rick's daughter. That's the only reason why she's getting. You know what I mean? Like, she's not very popular, at least the hardcore fans. I think Alexa Bliss could be pushed, especially if she goes to SmackDown, as one of the big time baby faces of the company, and she's obviously listen, she's loved as a heel, so I think if you push her as maybe put her like in an underdog type role. You know what I mean? Obviously, she's not going to be dominant just because they never pushed her as that, and she's too small anyway. I think that could work, to be honest.
I'm not saying it can't. I just think WWE has just a habit of going back to things that are safe for them. Like what they did with Kevin Owens when they turned him heel for that quick second. Yes, they turned him back, but they did do that because they completely realized, oh, shit, we got nothing. Okay, let's just turn Owens heel because he's a good heel. WWE has a habit of these things, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go that route. If they totally decide, you know what, we'll just keep Bliss heel.
Yeah.
Next is the Cruiserweight title, which I'm going to assume is probably not going to be on the card.
No.
It'll probably be on the pre-show. Gulak's in a triple threat match against Humberto Carrillo and Lince Dorado.
These freaking cruiserweights, man. I mean, Lince Dorado.
Gulak.
Yeah, it has to be Gulak.
Which we'll talk about that when we get through the card.
Look, Cam Newton actually throwing a pass. It was an actual pass.
It might be Gulak, but it might be Carrillo. And the only reason I say that is because Lince Dorado's in here to take a fall.
Maybe.
'Cause I could see the Cruiserweight title changing hands. All right, moving on. SmackDown Women's title. Your most beloved wrestler of all time, Bayley, defending her championship against Charlotte Flair. That chick who was Ric Flair's daughter you mentioned earlier.
If Bailey wins, it cannot be clean. There's no way.
No.
It has to be some kind of interference.
Bayley wins. Bayley doesn't win clean because they're going to continue the evolution of I hope, of getting us off the stupid side ponytail gimmick. I'll give her this. She mocked the Bayley buddies somewhat this week.
Again, until she starts poking them, I'm not accepting anything.
But I did love the verbatim that you heard from her saying, I do this for you. Woo! And the Bayley buddies came up. I appreciate if it gets us somewhere. I agree. Come out, take a knife, and just start stabbing them.
But see, I don't like that because then she's Sami Zayn. The whole, you know what I'm saying? Like the spoof-esque, I'm a good guy. Like, no, you suck. You understand? Like, I don't want you being the female version of Sami Zayn. Because that's what she would be.
Probably what she's going to end up being.
The troll-esque, oh my God, I'm 10 years old. Where are my roller skates? No, move on, Maddie. I'm getting upset.
Oh, God, if she actually started wearing roller skates coming down to the ring,
Joey over here, Joey DiBardino on the Facebook said he thinks that the whole Eric Rowan Rowan's career is just an elaborate, hoax to hide the fact that it was Daniel Bryan.
I hope so, Joey.
It probably is.
I just want this program to be over. I just want move on. You know
I mean, if Rowan winds up getting a decent singles push out of this and he's actually believable, then it's like, all right, well, at least something good came out of this, at least. But anyway, all right. As for me, I'm going to say, I would say Charlotte, but I'm pretty sure it's probably going to wind up being Bayley.
It's going to be Bayley.
Yeah, I would love it to be Charlotte, so that way you could get a full Bayley heel turn of her just saying, you know what, just start shitting all over her gimmick. Just stop doing it because it's like, all right, fine. You guys don't appreciate me enough.
Could they do like the angle where Bayley just gets frustrated and gets herself DQ'd, loses the match, but retains the title?
I mean, they could do that route or get counted out or whatever,
Yeah, I don't think she'll do the count out. I could see her just because they're specific. They're making it a point to have her carry the chair and awkwardly swing the chair, and it is very awkward.
Yes,
to look
it
at.
is.
I'm gonna change my pick. I don't think Bayley wins, but I think Bayley retains, and I think that Bayley gets herself disqualified.
Okay, then. So next up, we have the other women's championship. We have Becky Lynch defending against Sasha Banks.
I don't want to say it.
I think that Sasha's winning.
Yeah, Sasha's winning. Sasha's winning.
Oh, it hurts me.
And Bayley's probably going to help her do it too, by the way.
It hurts me so bad inside.
Chrome, they're pushing. I guarantee they're pushing. I said this 3 weeks ago. They're pushing for the Fatal 4-Way.
So
that's what they're doing.
So keep this in mind. If you ever want to get a championship, just get pissed off at WWE and storm out.
I don't know, but here's the thing.
Here's the only way I want to see the Fatal 4-Way.
If it's a unification?
If they're going to unify the titles at Survivor Series and both titles are on the line with one winner walking
See,
out.
I don't know how they can. I agree with you. I don't see how they can do that because I don't see how SmackDown would be okay because they're all with exclusive stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they would be okay with one, them not having women's champion, or two, sharing the women's champion with another show. Mm-hmm. That's my only. If this SmackDown thing is non-existent, 100% unify it. That's the only thing I'm kind of stuck on right now.
Yeah. See, it's a little different than the original brand split where there wasn't really much of a women's division, and they could totally just throw it on Raw and have the cruiserweights on SmackDown. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little.
Unless
with the purple.
This is what you can do. I'd be fine with it. I doubt they do it. You have the women's singles title on SmackDown, and then the women's tag on Raw.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with it. I don't see them doing that, though.
I don't think they're going to unify. I think the only time that they were ever thinking about unifying them was probably around that WrestleMania match when they had Becky win both belts. It's probably the only time it ever came up in conversation.
Gosh darn it, Chrome.
Wasn't that long ago either.
No,
it was not. And Rhonda was here. Do you miss her at all?
No.
Rhonda still had all her fingers then.
Yeah. No, Manny, I don't.
You don't? Okay, just out of pure
No, I do.
curiosity, I had to ask.
I do.
You know what I'm going to say, though. I don't miss her being pissed off in the back in an interview and then her coming out. Hi, everyone. How are we doing? Hi. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for coming. Hi.
I miss her.
Frown, Rhonda. You're angry.
I think they miss her big time.
What I find hilarious is when they brought up that, oh yeah, she didn't like getting booed. I'm like, well, yeah, but that's WWE smart audience for you. That shit's gonna happen. Get with the program, Rhonda. This ain't the UFC anymore.
John says he's still a Bailey fan. We know, John. I don't judge you for it anyway.
Todd has some
He
predictions
says
over here, too.
we'll get those in
Okay.
1 second. He says that he does believe that Bailey will show a dark side soon. He has a feeling. Roscoe thinks The Miz should make a run at the U.S. title.
So Todd, he says here, Roman wins. Rowan and Luke need to try to get back with Bray. I know you love that, Mr. Chrome.
Nope.
Keep
them all.
Todd does not like Fire and Desire. Says it's cheesy. He says Miz loses. The Sammy story with Nakamura is very interesting to me, and he says could care less about the cruiserweights since Austin Aries left.
I mean, to be fair, even more than that, ever since Neville left, too. Like, say what you will about Pac. People love him, people hate him, but he was the best athlete on there for the longest time. Like, he really was.
A lot of people have emerged since then, though.
Well, now they have. But
you got your Buddy Murphys. I mean, I know some of these people have been promoted to the main roster, but you have Ali, you have Buddy Murphy, you have a number of these guys who have taken these roles now to where it's a little bit different in my eyes.
It is, but I feel like, obviously, I think they'll have a more significant impact on the main roster than they did with the cruiserweight stuff.
Speaking of the cruiserweights, thoughts on 205 Live going away and going to NXT?
Not really surprised. I mean, it continued to have a struggle keeping people around after a SmackDown. And, I mean, it's a shame, but at the same time, it's like they doomed it right from the very beginning.
Everything I love about it, I'm going to say fast because we are on crunch time. We got to get through the rest of the card. But I will say this. I love this move because I don't think it was doing those guys any favors, but you can now see some of the talent that was there.
Yes.
In the Cedric Alexanders, the Buddy Murphys, the Alis, some of the other guys who aren't there now. The Drew Gulaks who are still kind of the Tony Neses. These guys are buried on 205 Live that's getting no traction.
And also, most likely, we'll get a chance to see Kushida on actual television.
So putting them on NXT, which is now going to be a 2-hour program, what's the big worry? What makes NXT great? It's a 1-hour show. Guys aren't exposed, or girls aren't exposed every week. It now gives them another pool of talent who wasn't getting any exploitation before now to showcase themselves, and also gives them more content to fill the 2 hours, so you're not exploiting the NXT
we
talent.
talked.
What did sorry,
Yeah,
Brad.
you're good.
What did TNA do when they got the 2 hours on Spike? They had the X Division to fill all that
Love
time
it.
in.
We
and
talked.
That's what they did.
We actually talked about this about a year and a half ago. We predicted this.
Yeah.
On the show, we had talked about this was before Fox even came into play, of joining up 205 Live because it was a topic of a show. It was one of the main topics, like saving 205 Live. And we all said the only way to fix it is to unite it with NXT because they're all in the same. It's a great move. They should have done it already, but it makes sense that they did it now.
All right, then. So, on to the Raw Tag Team titles. Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. For me, I'll go with Ziggler and Roode. I do think
I think
they win the titles.
I agree.
I'll be happy for Roode.
I think Ryan agrees with that, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good for Roode. I think he deserves something. Intercontinental title, Nakamura and The Miz. I think Nakamura wins, but with the help of Zayn.
Agreed. I do not like this program for the simple fact. So I like Miz working with Nakamura. It's a fresh thing. I'm with Ryan what he said last week. Although I enjoy when I see it, the Leo style of
Manager.
The management style of Sami Zayn, I don't need to see him do the same gimmick I just saw over and over.
Yeah.
And Sami Zayn is too good to be the manager of Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, we know it's going to lead to something eventually, whether it's one way or the other. I have a feeling they're going to turn Nakamura back face soon.
I would, because the crowd was actually into him then.
I have a really good feeling that might be where this goes. I think Nakamura wins. Miz's complete and utter burying continues. And I think the end game is to get to Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura with
Agreed.
a face Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yep. And also, Nakamura and Jericho are the only guys who held the IWGP and WWE Intercontinental titles. So they have that to their name.
Do you have someone going on in this game, by the way?
I have no idea. I have 6 fantasy football teams. I'm
I'll
sure
check.
that I do.
Because I'm facing you, so it's very
Probably.
important to me.
Okay.
Okay.
I may have Curtis Samuel. I don't know.
Next
Oh,
up,
God, I hope not. Go ahead.
we have the SmackDown Tag Team titles. The New Day defending against the Revival.
On my bench.
I'm
OJ
going to
Howard.
say. Oh, I'm going to actually say the New Day. I want to say the Revival, but I don't think they're going to win it.
No, I think the Revival wins this.
Revival. It better be the Revival.
I would like to see them, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think the Revival wins this.
Samuel's on your bench. OJ's got 0.
Okay, next up we have the WWE Championship, Kingston versus Randy Orton. I'm gonna say Kingston.
Yeah, I think Kofi wins here.
Yeah,
I think it should be.
Kofi.
I think it should be Randy Orton.
If they didn't put it on Randy last month, they're not going to do it now.
Yep.
And then the final is the Universal Championship, of course, Rollins versus Braun, who I will say Fiend interfering is probably obviously he's going to. The question is he gonna get the DQ so we get no winner?
Hell in a
or
Cell
are we
will be a
gonna-
triple threat match. That is my. With the topic, that was going to be my call. I think that he has addressed both men very specifically in
Yes.
his addresses the last 2 weeks. And I think it's very clear that this is going to be a triple threat. You can protect Braun and not have him lose to Seth now. And I think Seth drops the title to the Fiend at the next pay-per-view. And I think Seth, spoiler alert for me, when we do our preview show next month, I think Seth is the one that takes the pin. They protect Braun, and the Fiend ends up winning the WWE Championship or Universal Championship.
I agree it's going to be a DQ. This is what I want, though. Okay? And they're not going to do it. The perfect kind of scenario for me is that the lights go out and they come back on and they're both laying down, but their arms are covering each other. It's a double pin, basically, to where it's not a DQ, but they both win. And the Fiend's whole spin is, I did this on purpose because I want both of you. You understand? So we beat them all, and we don't know what happened. It's just the lights come back on. You know what I'm saying?
Does Triple H come out and say he's going to hold the title in abeyance?
What?
Back when Daniel Bryan won the titles originally.
Oh.
And he came out every night and he said, "I'm going to hold the belt up in abeyance until
No.
until you crown another champion."
No.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there because you never know what WWE is going to do.
You see
They're
what I'm
gonna
saying, though?
WWE something.
Yeah, but I don't.
They're not going to do it.
I don't think they need to do a double finish. They just did a double finish with the King of the Ring, with two guys pinning each other.
Don't
They
remind me.
They don't need to do that. If he just comes in and just destroys the both of them and calls it a day, and leaves them laying and go out with that image of his face, that to me sells the next pay-per-view big time.
I mean, it's funny. It's actually one of the few times in a long time we've had somebody who we want to see as Universal Champion for quite some time.
Anything else for the good of the cause, gentlemen, before we go off and let you fine gentlemen prepare for the real Triple H?
No, sir.
If only we could actually have the real William Regal say that.
Oh,
But
it'd be great.
anyway.
Maddie, give us our sponsor read before I plug a few things and we hop off.
Sure. Lazy Booking was brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accounts located at 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. You can give them a call 215-369-3300. Remember, tax season is almost here, so be ready, be prepared, and call Gibson Mayer.
Don't forget, check out our doc, Dr. Paul Vidal over at Specialized Physical Therapy, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton, New Jersey, online, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. No appointment needed. Great show this week, guys. Do not forget, it's an 8:20 start, 7 o'clock, Pin Setters, Sunday night. Come and see us. Let's chat. A2D viewing party. We got our own area. $20 gets you in the door into the viewing area and some food to fill your bellies. And we're going to be having a good time chatting with you guys. Eagles, Falcons. Do not forget to join us. You want to watch Ralphie talks about food all the time. You get to see it in person, guys. I've seen the pool part. I'm ready for the food now. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a great time. Make sure that you guys join us. What's that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Brian's in the studio.
Brian is here. He's getting ready to get ready for you guys. Talk about that Provorov extension. Huge.
Oh yeah.
But thank you guys again. Appreciate you as always. Great conversation. Way off the rails, but that's how we like it.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out Hockey Happy Hour and all of our programming. Philly Sports Guys tomorrow. Everything on A2D's platforms. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube. Until then, until next week, I'll talk to you guys later. Maddie will talk to you in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes.